That was really quick. Welcome in, everybody. It is, what day is it? Today is Thursday?
Wednesday.
No, it's Wednesday.
Feels like Thursday because tomorrow's our Friday.
Yes, and I was here yesterday. First of all, why wasn't I?
Birthday.
Great question.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you. I celebrated you, chat.
Happy birthday.
Oh. If only.
Mr. Christopher.
What's up? Finally back from vacation. Hey, Jason. Jason.
I didn't leave on vacation, so I don't know what those are like. But you, on the other hand, have had many vacations, so I'm sure you can fill us in on how your vacations, plural, have been.
I've determined I love that we have our birthday off here. I do love that.
It's great.
Threw me off entirely. Just like a middle of the week.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Like, hey, I come
Having
in on
a Tuesday,
Monday, and then Tuesday, I'm like,
especially Tuesday. Tuesday's like the redheaded stepchild of days off.
Yeah.
Wednesday's okay because you got two to either side.
Yeah. And
Thursday makes you... Tuesdays and Thursdays feel bad because Thursday makes you feel like, wow, I should have just taken Friday instead. But you know, Christopher, you have the option on your birthday to trade it for any other day you'd like.
That's true. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to
Why is that? Because Monument Hobbies loves our employees. Not enough to listen to his comeback on what I said.
No.
But, you know, hey.
No, I agree with you. I just wanted to try it. I'm like, well, I'm going to actually take the day.
Well,
I'm going to take the day.
I feel like Tuesdays and Thursdays are rough, right?
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays are rough. Danger asks, what did we do on our birthday off? And by we, he means we, the people, because we, the people, we the people didn't get a day off. Remember, I was here with you.
Thank you, everybody. That clap is for you, Chad.
I was here with you.
Handling Gabe and Jason without me.
Kenny says, I do feel the love.
Where's my pallet cam?
What? What pallet cam?
Ah!
You deleted pallet cam.
Gosh, where did it go?
You said that you didn't deserve a pallet cam,
I've got
chat.
a button. Why isn't this button working?
He said, chat.
Why, God?
Chat, you don't
Why, God? We don't need it today.
Chat, you don't deserve a pallet cam. That's what Chris's last words were
Oh,
before.
my. The first day back, and I can't even have a working pallet. I have this pallet cam, though.
Is it off?
No, it's my settings all messed up on my... Because I was redoing how I was doing that for tomorrow.
Well, there it is.
Yes, that's on. I'm at my little one.
What'd you do with it?
I threw it away.
So, about that whole Gabe is better conversation.
That's why
chat.
I changed it. Okay, I figured it out. I deleted it by accident.
It worked yesterday.
Oh no!
Can you Control Z yourself out of this?
How do I end it all, chat?
How do I end it all?
How do I end it all? What's going on?
Let's dig into that more in our next session.
Keep me coming back. That's what they do. Sorry. Well, hey, doesn't matter today because
Chris is having a rough day. Chris comes in and he's like, I am so tired.
No.
It's been so rough.
It's not rough. Let me rephrase that. Let me recenter. That was past Chris. Future stream Chris now is I'm here for you, chat. Everything outside these walls doesn't matter except for you. Oh, let me read. I was messing with cameras because I'm getting a better camera in here, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna change this for tomorrow. Oh,
Chris, are you trying to do too much?
No.
I feel like you're trying to do too much.
No.
I think, yeah.
I think I was. Specifically with stream when I was
testing this
out.
So Chris gets a little frazzled when he knows there's things that he puts a large importance on, like tomorrow's birthday stream.
Big day
Tomorrow's our birthday, but it isn't that big of a thing. It's just like we do some giveaways.
Jason, it's a huge day. What are you talking about?
Well, it's a huge day, but it doesn't have to be any different. Like, do you realize how awesome our stream is every day, Christopher? You don't have to do a whole lot more.
I got clowns coming in.
Clowns?
I got elephants. Come on. This is a huge day tomorrow.
I don't know where he's getting the money for
There's
elephants.
a lot.
I'm just saying.
I have a hidden.
I have not.
I have a
budgeted
hidden
for
fundraiser.
Elephants. I have not budgeted for elephants or rhinos.
Hey, speaking of rhinos and elephants,
welcome everybody.
Welcome in everybody.
Welcome in everybody.
It is in fact Wednesday.
It's an amazing hump day here at Monument Hobbies HQ. We're glad you joined us. Is Batman coming?
Batman. Jason is Batman. Big Bobzilla. Welcome in.
What's up, cool cats?
Triven, welcome in. Hey. Triven.
Yeah, clowns seem easy to find. They're all over the place here.
Traven.
Turn a corner, clown. Turn any other corner, more clowns.
I appreciate it. You know what? Today, chat, I would like to publicly apologize.
For me? What'd I do?
No, actually, I could probably do something about all this.
What did I do?
No, you don't need to apologize.
I shouldn't have to apologize.
You shouldn't have to apologize. Hey, thank you so much, Michael Holtz. I missed all of you. Thank you, Northrax, for the belated birthday wish. It was a fun
Christopher.
day. Yeah.
We've determined what you need to do.
What I need to do.
With the cam. Here.
This one?
Yeah. Is that you have to make it angled so it looks like it's sitting on the shelf. So you can shrink it down.
You mean like put it way in here and just be just like a
Not quite that.
Hey everybody!
Not quite that.
Perfect.
But it can be a little bit bigger than that. But I can show you how to create a mask for it.
You want me to do a 3D mask?
A 3D mask.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
It makes it look like you're sitting on the shelf.
You're gonna put me on the shelf.
Yeah. And then we just tilt the camera down a little bit to show more shelf, so that you can live on the shelf.
You're gonna make me live on the shelf?
It's Chris on the shelf.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
It's gonna happen.
Perfect amount of Chris on screen.
You're gonna put a little picture frame graphic around it. I'll make the graphic for you. It'll be great.
Hey, speaking of hilarious, thank you, Jen. That's hilarious, though. We'll make it happen, Jen.
Jen, check this out.
Jen's gonna be here tomorrow. That's my sound thing until.
Can you zoom in?
Oh, heck yeah. Wow. What? Jason, what is that?
What? You, and by you I mean we, are holding the world's best all-in-one brush cleaner, conditioner, and reshaper.
Jen?
Easy to use, designed to work for both natural hair like sable and synthetic brushes. For sure.
Jen says, how's the first time I'm seeing new packaging?
It's so good.
It's a surprise. Does it smell like magic? Yes, it's the best stuff out there. Oh, and he's dead. Wow.
That's it. That's it. That's the deal. Being made right here in this building today.
Wow.
It's awesome. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Some people will appreciate this.
Yep.
A lot of people will appreciate it because even people that don't care about the vegan symbol will care that we have a lot of people that were like, whether or not it had any type of gluten or anything else in it. And so
Cannibal says, is it a new formula or just new packaging?
It's the same great formula with a couple of tweaks in it for production. So we put 2.0 on there because people might notice that we've softened it so that it is easier. The big key here is that if I were to want to clean this, I can get just a little bit of water on my brush, and rather than having to dig because the last formula was a little hard, rather than having to dig it out, I can now just kind of scoop it out with my brush, right? Yeah. So it's more like it's like a thicker pomade, kind of, right? But the same cleaning capability per volume, so you don't have to use any more of it or anything like that. Still works exactly the same. All the active ingredients are exactly the same. Still drunken. So I think you'll love it. It is more resistant to melt and will reconstitute better after melting, which we have problems with here in the heat in Arizona and such. And then as we ship it around the world and things like that. So we were looking at ways to repackage it and work on the manufacturing so that we could get to where we could manufacture more quickly. And then out of that came this 2.0. So it's great.
Wow.
Everything you know about it and love about it is the same, though.
Big deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, huge deal.
Still gets all that brown we were painting with.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, what a big deal.
You sound very excited, Chris.
No, I'm very excited.
I would like to move on to the next conversation, chat.
I have never been more excited in my entire life, and it's actually an amazing thing. So,
I'm super stoked. And I love the packaging. Ryan, Gabe, Chris, Alex all brought it in line with all of our other wonderful products. So now it can sit on our new rack as we get it to where it can display better. All sorts of good things happening around here.
Amazing stuff.
There you go.
Did you
notice
the best.
How at the beginning of this I just kind of whacked all my models off?
I saw that and I was
They all need some help now. I don't think I broke any of them, but that was probably not the best thing to do. I did it for effect.
Definitely swiped them off.
I did it for effect. I just went. Wow,
I didn't know how to respond, to be totally honest with you.
That was good.
Wow.
That was good.
Cool. You being Chris specific. Yes. Yep. I got a customer feedback survey. I made sure to include every way you could improve the feedback. It took me a while to write something that long. Hey, I haven't sent out that yet. So get ready.
Fat Man's Kitchen, you're making a Stormcast squad themed after the Legion of the Damned with like flames and stuff. That's awesome. Black armor, flames. I like it. Stormcast would be okay like that.
Heck yeah.
I would like a Legion of the Damned Stormcast that was lightning instead of fire. I think that would be great. Black armor, lightning, skulls. Legion of the Damned in 40K is like this lost legion of loyalist space marines that come back every now and then like ghostly apparitions. They're the Lord of the Rings Army of the Dead.
Oh.
Okay.
That's cool.
They stole the Army of the Dead from Lord of the Rings idea, and there are these apparitional space marines that show up on battlefields out of nowhere, are absolutely unstoppable, and then disappear when the battle's done. And,
I could be into that.
They're called Legion of the Damned. And they were tainted by warp, lost in the warp, but still fight for the loyalists, show up for the good guys' side.
I could be into that.
But I would love the Stormcast to have like that same, because they're like skull apparitions and fire out of the holes of their armor and stuff. But I think for Stormcast it'd be cool, like lightning, if you could pull that off.
It's called Legion of the Damned.
Legion of the Damned. Flapsack, that's not what we said. Maybe it was what we said. It's not what we meant.
Stormcast heads for something else and pinned skulls in their place. Nice. Look like they're floating. Fat Man's Kitchen.
Oh, that's cool. Very, very
awesome.
cool. Yeah, very cool.
Oh, yeah, okay. Like Ghost Rider vibes.
Dear Galagash, was a hint at working with Vince on new metals. I forget which pod. Any news to share? Nope, not yet. I can neither confirm nor deny. They have like a Ghost Rider flaming skull thing. Yeah, exactly, Wad.
So today, everybody, just so that everybody is aware, let's recap. Welcome in. We're so glad you're here. Today we're painting up these Vespids.
These guys.
But then, around 3 o'clock, Jason is going to retire over to the table over there.
I am not doing this.
And we are going to do the June challenge review.
Nope.
So if you submitted, please wait till 3. That's when we're going to do it. We take about an hour or 45 minutes,
not
depending on
I said I wouldn't be a
how
party
long
to this.
It is.
I wouldn't be a party to this.
And speaking of beautiful people,
welcome
Rancid Vomit, 59 months. Thank you so much.
Speaking of beautiful, Rancid Vomit.
Speaking of Rancid Vomit.
Goodness gracious.
Jason is retiring, but he's so young. Agrippa is not. He is not retiring. He will be retiring over there. Someone forgot to add the palette cams offline. Yes. Thank you, Big Bob, for pointing out my horrible sins. I'm so glad you reminded me
he
that
deleted our scene, Big Bob.
No. Why is the camera so wiggly today? It's because I have the AC cranked up. So that's probably why. I need to fix that for myself, Cannibal, if that's what you're saying. It is a little wiggly because I can tell that it's wiggly from the AC. I need to fix that. I'm so sorry, Cannibal. Lighting would be cool. Got the wire I could use for it. Does change my tonight project into tomorrow project. Yeah. Did you consider not committing the sins? Yes, I did, Flapjack. I did commit to that.
To committing the sins?
No. Did you consider not committing the sins? Yes.
Oh. No, he fully meant to commit the sins the whole time.
Not on purpose.
I feel like the answer is yes.
It is not on purpose. I swear to goodness. It is not on purpose. Hey, but thank you for pointing this all out to me, chat. Keep me accountable. Keep me honest. Tell me where I can improve.
You're absolutely killing him right now, Chad.
I love it.
You're killing him.
No, I'm alive and well.
You're killing him, Chad.
I'm very excited about these.
I'm going to have to deal with this at Dude Night tonight, because we have Dude Night tonight.
No, I'm not going anymore.
Yeah, you are.
I've decided.
Nope, you've decided
Dude
that
Night's
you're
over
going.
for me.
We have Dude
Night.
Dude Night tonight.
Dude. Also,
Jen,
I feel like
Jen
maybe
looked
they
at
should
me
be
and
here for
asked
the
me if I
challenge
was
review.
taking everybody to Band-Aids. That's what she asked. Because we call it Dude Night, and she's like, "Are you going to Band-Aids?" So I said, not only are we going to Band-Aids, but insert every other gentleman's club in the area, and we're going there too.
I hate that something is called Band-Aids out in the world. That's a strip club. It's just vile.
Let me tell you about it.
Oh my gosh. Also, I feel like Baby J should be here for the challenge review since it was his idea. Flapjack, do you want to drive? He's not here because he's working.
He'll pull this car over.
I'll pull it around. No, I understand. But no, Jason is going to do it instead with me. I'm actually very excited about the June challenge.
Are you?
I thought people did a great job, and it was really cool to see.
Cool.
Do you know what it is, Jason?
What is it,
It's
Christopher?
grayscale. Painting with just black and white. And there was a lot of expert acrylics, which was awesome. Showing value with just black and white.
I like it. I never look at them until the review, so
That's true.
it's always exciting for me to get to see them all for the first time.
No, Kenny, he's not allowed over here. Kenny, Jordan is not allowed to sit in. Unless Jason, do you want Jordan to do it, Jason? That's up to you.
Oh. Let chat vote.
Who's going to do the review today? No, he's probably working. Oh, you meant to pass along the well wishes, not the... No, okay, I understand, Kenny. I thought
He
you were
wasn't
talking
trying to
about...
vote him into
No,
service.
oh, okay, you're just passing along my well wishes to Jordan. Hey, great job out there, Jordan. Keep it up. Keep up that good work. I actually kind of found grayscale easier than color because I didn't have to pick the color, says Flapjack. That's one way of putting it.
100%, right? It can allow you to focus on what's important, which is, material value, all that stuff that we talk about all the time, without having to get, deep into, okay, what's my color choice need to be here? What goes well with this, and all that. So some people are very, get that analysis paralysis when it gets to the color phase, but you can wind up making all of that a lot easier by thinking in terms of how to get, value scale done in black and white, blacks and grays. Think of how powerful a good zenithal highlight is on a model.
Yeah. Well, and just that, it's very cool to see value because it feels painted because it is painted, right? But I like that kind of monochrome-ish style of painting. Bloodwaller says, Chris, sin number 1. Chris has not moved the producer cam to the top right corner. Yes, that's true. We are not doing that, Bloodwaller, so that's not even a sin. I have a whole plan to make this comboed so that when I turn on another one, that it's all beautifully equaled out on my screen. And he totally promised he would. No, I will not. I take back what I said. If I promised that, I was a fool.
Wow.
That's right. You heard it here.
Wow. He just said, I don't care what I say. I'm saying this now, and you're okay with it.
I am.
You're just going to be okay
This
with
is martial law.
You're just going to be okay
for
with
idea.
it.
Fat Man says, thanks for the lighting idea. I'm stealing it. Nice. Twisty Farmer. Chris, did you get the Rattlings painted? I started painting them yesterday, and I also, check it out, I put my progress in, or I did like the camo workup in the work in progress. So check those out, Twisty Farmer. Yesterday I was on a painting streak. And when I mean streak, I mean with my clothes on.
Is that really a streak?
I think so.
I think so.
I think so. Right?
I think it counts.
Wait, Chris tells untruths? Who knew?
Who would have thunk?
Chat.
Chris is a lying liar who lies.
I am. I'm taking a 180 today. Nothing I say is true. Let me emphasize that. I'm a liar who lies. Hey everybody. Oh, it's Chris. Oh, cool, I guess. Hey, Panic Bomb, banned. Band hammer. That's my shotgun ban right there.
Shotgun ban. Well, that was everybody? It's like a shotgun lawsuit?
Yeah, who knows?
Everybody in
I'll
close
just pick names
proximity
at random.
to that guy is banned.
What you have to paint with pants on. What you have to paint with pants on. Twisty Farmer, I don't know if I compute.
Them's the rules.
Them's the rules. I got to paint with pants on. I did paint with pants yesterday. Pants. I painted pants while wearing pants.
Well, that's right. You're painting
Rattlings. Yeah, I put my camo
sci-fi hobbits.
Yep, I put my camo pant work up in the Discord yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I did what Jordan did, and then I added a couple little twists. That Chai Cat says, I was browsing the shop and I was curious what the difference is between the Pro Synthetic and the Dauntless Synthetic brushes and why I might choose one over the other. Great question.
Really just the filament, right? The Pro Synthetics are built with a more expensive filament. Lifespan, they'll last a little bit longer. The goal with the Dauntless was to give you just a workhorse brush, something that was less expensive, get the job done. That's what I'm using here. I've been painting with the Dauntless brushes almost exclusively for the better part of a year, I think. Maybe longer.
You definitely used them quite a bit.
So as I've been testing them and working, because I'm always trying to find new and better ways to improve brush handling, and especially when we can do it for newer painters or experienced painters that are looking for something that doesn't break the bank because they go through brushes pretty quick. But you still need to have, you can't just cheap out and buy the least expensive brush on the block. You need to buy something that's still going to last and still going to work the way you want it to. So that's what we've done with Dauntless.
I used my Dauntless I used the 00 a lot yesterday on those rattlings because as cool as those models are, very hard to get to a lot of those places.
Well, they're GW models.
There's so many bits and they're so tiny because they're halfling size. But I noticed on one of the models, on the side, on a little table thing or this little ammo can, he has a cup of coffee and a grilled cheese ham sandwich.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's hilarious. I'm like, is that really what I think it is? And I looked at the reference art, and it totally is a sandwich.
Yeah, that's nice.
They have little sausages hanging out everywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, food sausages, take
Their
it
little
easy,
sausages
everybody.
are hanging out everywhere.
Yo, take it easy.
Whoa. Sorry.
I know. Okay, everybody calm down.
What are we talking about here?
I just make bristles with your own hair. Works great. Agrippa, don't do that for your brushes. I wanted to do that when I cut my. I wanted to use my hair when I cut it all off, but I don't think we're allowed.
Not good for brushes. It turns out.
Human hair's not.
No.
Why is that, Jason? How do you know?
So
tell us all of the secrets about human hair brushes. Gross.
Yeah.
It's called because we don't do that.
It's the same reason why you don't make lampshades out of people's skin, Christopher.
Oh.
Don't act surprised.
I was just like just out of left field. I guess.
There's just certain things you don't do.
How are you feeling about these Vespids, Jason?
I love them.
Yeah? You like them?
Well, I think that you have to go past like to get to love. That's what Jen tells me.
Oh. Wait, we can't? Yes. Yes, Mo. Flashbacks to Human Skin Leather episode. Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce that. What
that was The Guardian.
Metal Clipsy? I don't know how to pronounce that, Cannibal. I'm sorry. Chris is half a man today. Halflings with half smokes, yes. But they're really cool models. I'm not going to lie. I was very jazzed to paint them. Amongst all of the other projects that I have.
They're really cool.
They're fun.
They're neat sculpts, just in general.
Metalocalypse. Okay. Metalocalypse. Okay. Death Clock?
Yep.
Got it. Thanks, Mo. Thanks for the phonics lesson. Love all of you. Yeah, sorry, little Billy. Chris just hey, little Billy, I appreciate you. I was thinking about you guys yesterday, chat. I was like, I wonder how they're all doing with Gabe.
Remember what he said earlier, that he's changed his tune and now he's a liar. So
I thought Gabe was just such a standard fellow.
Standard?
Yeah, a good standard. Like just mountain standard time kind of a fellow.
Like setting the standard?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow,
he sets the line.
That's not usually how you speak about Gabe.
Yeah, Gabe's great. I love Gabe.
That's just a big turnaround. I'm not sure how to take this.
Where's my teleprompter? Gabe is cool. I like Gabe. He's cool.
It's your 3x5 card.
Where can I find you and how can I ruin your birthday, etc., little Billy? I think about you too, Chris. Hey, little Billy. Good luck out there. That's all I'm
Good
gonna
luck
say.
out there.
Speaking of good luck out there,
Welcome, everybody.
it is June Challenge Review. We're going to do that at 3 p.m. How's that sound, Jason?
Hey, I'm just here to dance when the conductor says
That's
dance.
right. You will dance.
That's what he tells me all the time.
So, chat, I would like you all to know, I'm going to publicly say this out loud because I'm ready. I tried to figure out a time with Jason this morning on when our beautiful meeting would be.
Lay-sigh.
And what was interesting to me is that I was committed to excellence. And I scheduled a meeting, and then Jason denied it. Odd. Weird. We preach, if I have time on my calendar, that, that's a good thing.
But I didn't.
You didn't. And then you said you did.
I didn't.
But then I realized that you had added something that said, no meetings with Chris. Not meeting with Chris. From 1 a.m. to 7 a.m.
It's 1 a.m. to 9, actually.
Oh, sorry. Yes, right.
It was a
Because
meeting that I had
tried
that
to
was
do
called
it
not meeting with Chris.
I tried to do it many different time slots, because I'm like, oh my gosh, we need to talk about this beautiful giveaway birthday party, fun, win-win time tomorrow. And yeah, it was rough. And then
unfortunately, my only, he tried to invade the only slots where I have my not meeting with Chris time.
I had to. But then the only slot that was open was the do not disturb slot, and I did not put the meeting in that because I commit.
You didn't.
To
You moved it to
your time.
8:15.
I did move it to 8:15 after all of this debauchery. I'm like, okay, we do need to meet, Jason.
8:15.
And
I
then
have
he's
to
like,
meet with this guy.
okay.
It's like 2 hours with him today. I've already had to deal with him a lot today, by the way. It's not like I don't know if Chris is here until stream time. I've talked with Chris. We've hung out. We've commiserated during the course of the day.
No, we don't do that.
And then now I have to do 2 hours with him in the stream. And then afterwards, we're doing dude night tonight because Kyle's family's out of town.
Not tonight.
You are tonight.
I heard it was canceled.
No, it wasn't canceled. It's still on.
See what I have to put up with, chat?
And so now I have to do that with him. And then on top of all of that, I got to meet with him at not just in the morning, but first freaking thing in the morning.
We don't have to meet, Jason.
Can we do a conference call?
A conference call?
Yeah.
No.
You in your office and mine and me in mine.
I don't have an office. I'm out.
You closed your door on me today.
I did close your door. It's the metaphysical door. You're right. So.
And I honored it, didn't I?
You did. He
slammed his door in my face, chat.
Touche. Yesterday.
He doesn't have a door, but he slammed the virtual door in my face today.
Yesterday.
And I had to go through his subordinates and ask them to please communicate to Chris that I had stopped by.
That's right. Hooper, I deeply miss Jen. Yes, Jen will be back tomorrow. She's going to be with us on stream tomorrow.
You're going to get Jen twice this month.
That's right. Jen is
Christmas in July?
Christmas in July. July 25th, chat. Put it on your calendars because we're having a Christmas extravaganza that day. It's going to be epic.
I'm here for it.
I want you to all right now. We got birthday month. Tomorrow is our birthday giveaway. Put on your calendars. Tell your friends. Big giveaways tomorrow.
Yeah, we got giveaways.
We got
everybody's going to be able to get some giveaways. We're doing, I don't know, we're going to do 4 drawings, I think, right?
That's it.
Every 30 minutes.
Every 30 minutes.
Every 30 minutes we'll do a drawing.
Cannibal, don't be
drawings.
busy.
You never know, we get crazy.
I'm glad you're not busy, Cannibal. It's going to be a big one.
And then we do Christmas in July, which is a white elephant.
Yep, that's right.
So, but it's you, chat.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going to conduct the white elephant. We're supplying all of the gifts.
Yep, and then you guys get to choose what's up.
It's going to be complete chaos.
Will Cheese Whiz be involved, says Mo.
In which of the above? The answer could always be yes. I'm a big fan of Cheese Whiz.
Cannibal. I show up for the giveaways and every else will win some wizard's butt. Hey, you never know. You have to be here tomorrow. You could win. Anybody could win. It's all random. That's how it works. You submit a ticket, it picks a winner.
I would suggest you send Chris loving messages in Discord tonight if you would like for your chances of winning to increase.
No,
because he does favoritism.
Nope. That's a lie. That's a public ousting, and I deny it full-heartedly.
You can deny it all you want.
Game Delay's my lawyer. Game Delay, where are you? Help. I need you to speak for me. Cannibal, don't use that. Don't have that attitude. You'll win. It's all about your energy, your chi, your spirit. If you come in being
and
like,
buttering up Chris.
Hooray, I'm going to win. You might win, Cannibal.
And buttering up Chris. Start now. Get out in front of the curve.
Okay, Fatsman Kitchen. Plan on doing bright green retro bases because I have free will. Not sure what to do with the Skaven I got with them. Most likely the Plague Clan. Oh.
I don't speak to people that
own free will, Fat Man's Kitchen. I
don't understand any of those words you just said. It's not how the world works.
Bud says, all I want for Christmas is some wizard butt green. And I'm assuming you sang that out loud, Bud, because I could hear your voice in my head singing that. All I want for Christmas is some wizard butt green, some wizard butt green, some wizard butt green. I'm so happy for you, Bud. Keep it real, man.
Keep it real, man.
I like that. I like that for you. Hey, speaking of everyone else in this beautiful room,
welcome in, everybody.
We're so glad you're here. We are Monument Hobbies. We make the paint that you see Jason using here called Pro Acryl. If you've been living under a rock, get out from under that rock. Live on top of the rock. We are the rock. We, the people, are the rock.
Oh, here we go.
We are here painting this model with Jason. Jason, what are you painting up?
I am painting up some Vespids
now,
for Kill Team.
I know what happened. Don't get mad at me, chat. We did pivot. Because we're like, well, we're going to start the Skin and the Surfer Girl next week so that it wasn't interrupted by all the fun time win-win stuff.
And Chris being gone.
I
don't trust Gabe. I told him straight to his face.
I don't trust you.
I told him. I said, Gabe, this isn't anything to impede your infallible character. But Chris knows when to press the buttons.
This is true, and I really wanted to see it in person. Yeah. And by see it in person, I mean watch it on screen with you, because that's what I'm looking at right now.
Do you know
the Muffin Man?
Do you know that I did that for you?
I heard that.
I did that for you, Christopher. I said I cannot do such an important thing without my good friend Christopher.
Wow.
Producer among producers.
That's right. Thank you, Jason. That's a round of applause.
Tiger Woods' ex-coach.
False. I will not put that out in the universe. False. I did not teach Tiger Woods at all.
He was his putting and driver coach.
Not true. Not true at all.
That's how I found him.
No.
He's like Jen. When you say Jen has the smoothest blends you've ever seen, and she's like, oh, no, I don't. And if you need to learn to play golf, Chris.
I did not. That is false. I did get some new golf clubs yesterday, though, for my birthday.
See, he's lying.
My family went in on it. I'm very excited about them, actually. For all of you who... No, you know what? I'm not even going to mention that. I almost buried myself there. You see how I stopped myself? I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to say that. Not important. This is a painting business stream. Cannibal, golf is the most boringest of sports. What? I disagree. It's so fun.
Golf is definitely a sport you have to be playing for it to have any relevance.
Yes, especially if you're watching it. You gain some respect if you've played it. Now, I'm not saying that you can't have respect if you haven't played it. It's just like when you watch it and you're like, gosh dang it, how do these people make it go that way? Mo says, golf is boring as heck to watch, but fun to play. I would say off the tee is very fun to watch. Everything else is meh. I got a really mean slice. Hey, no free pub, but I know a guy who can help you fix that slice. He shall not be named.
It's Christopher.
It's not. I cannot.
Coached Tiger Woods.
I did not do this thing.
That's why I found him.
Baseball and hockey is life, says Doghouse Hobbies Studios. Doghouse. That's true. And there's actually a lot of components. A lot of hockey players and baseball players become really good golfers because of their natural body like tone and athleticism to swing. And like all the coordination that it takes for baseball and hockey, it's very similar. Jack says golf is just human fetch. That's hilarious.
So I grew up playing hockey.
Yeah.
And everybody that I have ever played hockey with has been a fairly decent golfer.
Yeah.
Right? Some of them scratch. Some of them have got really, really good numbers. I suck.
I think you could be good if you practiced.
I've never had a coach.
Yeah.
Whereas everybody else that I knew took the time because their fathers or whatever. I didn't have anybody in my family that ever played golf.
Oh.
So all of them did. Well, maybe not all of them, but enough of them did, right? Like one of my buddies growing up that we played hockey with, his dad owned a chip and putt, like a par 9 or a 9-hole par 3.
Yep, par 3.
So he had a par 3 9-hole chip and putt that we would go to after practice. And, we'd take some beers and we'd sit there and do this. And I cannot drive to save my life. So my entire life was a 7-iron, a wedge, and a putter. 3 clubs, that's all I need. Play the whole course.
Yeah.
And could if I could get the 7 underneath the ball long enough, on that par 3, I was a par player.
We could be good in a best ball.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, if you can drive, I got us
off,
mid and short game.
Great off the tee.
I am too much of a strength guy.
Yeah.
And so my drive sucks because I have no finesse. And it's just probably, like you said, I never had anybody teach me or anything like that because I didn't care. It was not fun for me.
Yeah.
Golf didn't represent anything other than hanging out with my friends.
Yep.
And it was never anything that I felt competitive about. Because like somebody's saying, it's like human fetch.
Yeah. If you got to be into it, and if you go with a good group of people, it is very fun. Me and my dad golf, so it's a way that we
somehow
connect.
As a businessman, I've never had to
have to go golf
to go golfing,
but you've had to set up a whole kill team.
But I've had to paint a whole kill team in 3 days. It's great,
which is great because these models are really cool and it got us all into it. I like it when we all figure out a project or a game that we want to play and like the models around and paint those models.
Yeah, I'm psyched that we have so many people here at the factory that are interested in doing this. I think we've got probably a half a dozen or more that are actually going to pull through. I know Big Will is.
I'm halfway in.
Good. I know you are. Big Will is. I think Jordan's going to.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Kyle will join us because he lives out that way.
Yep. Phil's in.
Gabe, I don't know. He says he's 3D printing stuff.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't like any of the models. So we'll see how that goes.
He almost got Necrons or Mandrakes.
Yeah, Mandrakes, he was saying. But we'll see what he does. I'd be stoked to have Gabe there. Anybody that wants to come from the factory, I think it's a great way to just get some hobby time. We did hobby night on Friday, and I was sitting around talking with people, and we got some people involved. And I wish Jen, the lovely Jen, would pick a kill team. She could go play. She'd kill us all. She would literally win.
There's some cool ones. I'm playing Rattling Slapjack. Fat Man's Kitchen says, have you ever painted anything akin to toads for brown frogs? I scratch built a great unclean one last month and plan on painting it like a brown frog and toad.
I mean, the answer is yes. I guarantee I've painted some. I don't know that I have.
You know what's funny? I have old Nurgle toads. From
like the old big Forge World ones?
Yeah I love those models. No, I can't.
I don't think I have anything that's in the skin tone range like that.
Like frog skin?
That we've done like frog skin. It would have been more of, colorful if I'd have done that in the recent
past. More
of
a poison dart.
But, we've done, like this Nurgle dude, when I did the kind of undeady flesh on that is still more of a greenish.
That's kind of like froggy.
Like a greenish.
Yeah.
With some jades and magentas and stuff in it to give it some life under the skin. But yeah, we I don't know that I haven't done anything that was like, toad-like.
Right. With
that texture and spotting and all that kind of crap.
Yeah, I love the little toad models, Mo. They're pretty cool.
The sculpts were not good.
Oh, Okran, yes. Brian also picked up a team. He picked up the new
that's right.
the Orc Rekka team.
Yeah, he's doing the orcs. The The big guys.
Rekka crew.
Yeah, because the orc team I have is not valid for competitive play anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
The
they
Commandos?
brought stuff out and only gave some teams, like, I don't remember what they call it, but some teams aren't of it. Not that I care, but I didn't want to build a team that was not able to be used.
Oh, interesting.
Because
mean-
the way they've got Kill Team done is seasonally, and it seems like, from what I'm learning, is that they just nuke some teams so they can bring out new ones. So that new orc team with the big bruiser orcs in it takes the place of the commandos. You can still play commandos casually, but they're not going to support it with balanced cards and rules anymore. So you just kind of time lock to the rules as they are now, and if all the other teams' rules get crazy, then your commandos are sunk.
Danger says, what about a kind of like the fly skin but brighter? Yeah, that could also pass off.
I looked
as a
at the
toad.
fly skin. I didn't, we didn't spend a whole lot of time on that fly skin. It's really just a base and a little bit of highlight. It's that.
It's very cool.
That kind of weird color.
It's like bluish. It's almost blue-gray.
It has like a greenish, grayish, bluish tone to it. Lots
And
of
if
brown
you all
in there
missed
too.
that, the making of the history of somebody painting a piece of poo with sprinkles on it, go
Oh,
check
yeah.
out last week's
We got
VODs.
I did 3D sprinkles on the
You
poo.
did the CD sprinkles. Yeah, look at
I
that.
sent that to Lucas and he laughed.
I'm so glad.
You gotta have sprinkles.
So when are
man.
you going to be done with this team here?
Well, I don't know. We're in the detail part. It's like yesterday. You get so dug in. You get the
Yeah.
fun stuff done quick, and then it's the details that bog
Yep.
you down. I'm
That's
going to
so
do
funny.
these wings. I'll do some highlighting on them. Obviously, I'm just going through very quickly and doing the green-brown over the top of the dark green-brown to get some highlight on here. Then I'll highlight the ribs of the wings, the
Yeah.
little finger
Yep.
spots in there. I'll highlight those to pull off some contrast. And then it's really get the guns done white, and then I got to paint like the eyes
Yeah. Then you're...
and the ground, and then you're kind of done
yeah.
because there's just not a whole lot else, right? The little packs on the back will be white too, so yeah, not a lot left, right? That's why I picked these guys, because what I consider to be the fun part, which is the base color and just getting the bug color done, is 90% of these guys. I didn't really factor in the fact that these wings are kind of fiddly
Yeah.
with the
Wings are...
the membrane and the
Yeah, wings
all that
are
stuff.
like that, though. Specifically
all
on
of them,
these
feathered
models.
ones and bat wings and all that stuff. I specifically didn't want to buy anything. I was looking for other models, not for Kill Team, but other models in general just to paint when I was at Old World.
Yeah.
I always go through the racks and look at everything.
Yeah.
Because I don't get a lot of time to keep up with all the GW models anymore,
Right.
since I don't play very many of their games, or any of their games, really. But I'm interested in the Saturnine stuff they have coming out for Horus Heresy. I think I'm going to get those. I'm splitting a box, not thinking. I'm going to split a box with Kyle.
That'll be cool.
So I'll get all of his Saturnine deals, the Terminators, the...
Big Dreadnought?
The big Dreadnought, and the... I forget, Praetor.
That'll be cool.
The Saturnine Praetor that comes in there too. So I'll have all the Saturnine models that we can paint some of those up, because I'm really hyped about those. They'll go well with my true scale Marines for Heresy, my Blood Angels.
Yeah.
So we'll paint them up like Blood Angels. That'll be cool. I can teach everybody the Blood Angel work up again in that red.
Yeah.
So
That'd
we'll do
be
the Saturnine
cool.
in that red, which I think will be cool.
Yeah.
And anyway, I go and I look, and a lot of the models that I really thought would be cool to paint on stream all had winged feathers, or feathered wings.
Oh.
And I was like, no, I'm not doing that again.
You did take a
We've
lot
done
of
that.
time.
We've done that a lot here lately, and so I was just like, that sucks, because there's the Stormcast guy on the big hawk
Yes, he's very cool.
or eagle or whatever. That guy
the
is
eagles.
super cool, but I'm like, nah, I don't want to paint those wings.
It's a lot of feathers. Again. Damage Inc. says, any suggestions on color scheme with Pro Acryl for High Fleet Leviathan Nids? ?
Remind me what Leviathan is. Is that the white and
I think it's the
purple,
white and
and magenta?
Yep.
Obviously the ivories that we have, right, working up into
Yes.
maybe transparent white on the top if you really wanted them to be that white, but I like them in the ivory because it's a little more yellowish, feels a little bit more natural. Things in nature aren't white very often.
Yeah, that's the color.
They're off whites. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so the ivories, I would do the skin or the soft carapace stuff with dark ivory, bright ivory coloring. Maybe some olive flesh if you didn't want to have it be quite as yellow into the range of the ivory, but I would play with that. some brown wash on that, you could that could just be done. And then for the blue, I think that dark purple and ultramarine would work really well, because see how I've done that here? Mm-hmm. That kind of coloring would work really well, although you could do more purple, because I see a lot of people do the Leviathan with more purple in it.
Yep.
So you could mix some ultramarine into dark purple to push it into a little bit of blue highlight, but leave it with more of the dark purple, and then royal purple highlights over that would be kind of cool. Pretty simple and straightforward when you...
Paleo, he uses just a piece of glass for his palette.
Yeah.
Elno says, Jason, what's the model with which you won the Golden Demon? ?
Was a Forge World Imperial Fist Dreadnought that I converted to have 2 fists like the old Furioso Blood Angels Dreadnought. Because back in the day, you couldn't do that with any Dreadnoughts other than the Furioso, but I wanted a close combat Dread, and he was fighting through Tyranids. He was fighting through High Fleet Leviathan Tyranids, actually. Nice. And so I had that. If you look on the Golden Demon Compendium page, it's not shown. There were 2 sections, and I don't think one of them's on there. My Terminators are not on there. I had a Terminator squad that had a Terminator captain and 4 Terminators, or 5 Terminators with him, that were Tyrannic War Veteran style Imperial Fists. And then I had the Dreadnought that was Imperial Fists. And it was back when I was doing very thematic basing for my models, and so they all had that Tyranids on the base feel. Yeah. But I had made it to where you could take the Tyranids off. The Dreadnought looks funny in the Golden Demon Compendium picture, because they took all the Tyranids off him. I had Gene Stealers. A Gene Stealer was leaping up, and he had the one Power Claw, the Forge World ones, where it had big spiked fingers on them. Yeah. And I had it to where I created it where it was all put together, and he had punched it through the Gene Stealer's guts. Oh. So when you look at him, he's got one arm back because he was holding one that was gripping his arm, and there's tears in the armor. Like I had molded tears in the armor and done it. And so, but if you didn't have the Gene Stealer on there, it didn't show the claws digging into the armor, so it just looks kind of weird.
So they took those off?
I don't know if maybe they fell off before they took the photos, and so they went ahead and took them off anyway, because they weren't glued on, so I could take them off if I wasn't fighting Tyranids. Because I never like having things on the model. Yeah. Like if I'm playing Space Marines versus Chaos, having Tyranids on your model doesn't make sense. So I make it to where you can take them off. But I think one of them fell off because the photo that's on there isn't. And it has a big...
Interesting.
A big unfurling Imperial Fist banner that I hand-painted on it.
Okay.
So...
Huh. Dang. Where is that model?
Oh, it's long gone.
Long
gone. That probably is one of the ones that got lost in the divorce.
Oh, okay. Oh, right.
I don't remember.
Margaret's asking, the mesh cloth on the fly guy, do you remember what kind it was? What kind of bolt cloth was that?
Oh, God.
Do you remember the name of it? Alex knows the
Alex
name.
knows, because she's the one that told me. I want to say...
Let me chat her really quick.
It was...
it's on the tip of my tongue here. Let me ask.
It's like Lulu
or something. What was the name of the cloth for the fly dude? Question mark.
The mesh.
The mesh.
Yeah, it's like a jute, not a jute. What is it called?
Look what Gabe just gave me, Jason.
What did he just give you?
Look.
Ooh. What is that?
Uh-oh, chat. Hallelujah, hallelujah. What is that?
What?
Sweet Mary Magdalene and the Saints?
What?
Is it a wizard's butt sighting?
I don't know what that is, man.
Wow.
I don't know how to respond.
You all have to be here tomorrow.
Uh-oh. Are you implying that we may be giving away a brand new color of wizard's butt?
We could. Gabe, where are you? Gabe, you just came in here and then you left. Tooling. Pronounced tooling. Tulle. Tool. Tool cloth.
Tool cloth. It comes in lots of opening sizes, and I just got whatever they had that was the smallest, I think, or the next to the smallest, because I think they had one that was smaller that didn't have any stretch to it. It was really weird. I picked it up and made sure that each one, or the one that I bought, you could it had some give in both directions because it's in a, it's in that, I call it it's like the wire fence kind of weave where the threads come up and then spool around and go off in a direction, spool and back and spool to make the hex. And some of them you pull and it was like window screen. And it didn't move at all.
Oh, that's,
So this one was good. It flexed in both directions. Now, when it flexes, they can get the hexes out of dimension. They can get long or tall. So you have to be careful of that. But I needed to stretch it over a sphere. So I needed it to have some give. Because if it didn't have any give, then it would have just wrinkled and I'd have never been able to get it on there, right?
Yeah. So, tomorrow, everybody be here. We're going to be giving away some Wizard's Butt. I was informed by the team that we've made some, which is great. So maybe that's what we do for our giveaway stuff. You'll have to find out. There could be an option. Could be a Wizard Butt option in there. So
we give away lots of stuff, don't we?
Oh, of course. I'm just saying that's an option potentially.
Oh, I think somebody's going to walk away with some Wizard's Butt, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, that's the keep
somebody
an
out
eye
there is getting some butt, whether they like it or not. I'm just here to tell you.
We're going to have several different giveaways, but that might be one of them. So who knows? You'll have to be here tomorrow. That's not a sales pitch, I don't know what is.
I just went down to, I don't even remember what the little fabric place is that's down here. I went right down the street on Indian School here in Phoenix, and there's a fabric place, S&S or something like that. It's run by a Eastern European family, and I walked in there and I go, okay, so I don't know what I need, but it has to be little mesh. And they go, little mesh. You go, for what little mesh you need? And I'm like,
and that's where you're like,
so I'm painting a fly. And it has an eye that's right. And the girl just did this. She goes, a fly?
I wish I was there for that conversation.
She goes, you have?
SAS.
I go, I didn't bring it. I just need mesh. And then she was like, I know what it is. And they mentioned whatever that word you just said.
Little Billy, if I miraculously win again, feel free to give it to another participant, but I won't lie, I want it. Little Billy, I don't make the rules. Of course, you guys want proof that it ain't rigged? Little Billy won last time, so there's your proof.
That is hard to argue, chat.
We appreciate you, Little Billy.
It is hard to argue that Little Billy won something that Chris was running.
I did not rig that, Little Billy. Cannibal, it's
or
rigged.
Did he?
False.
Or did he? Maybe he was trying to diffuse the Little Billy situation.
No, Little Billy, don't. Chris loves me. Don't spread that slander.
Maybe that's the case.
It's not the case.
Maybe it is. You always hurt the ones you love. I read that someplace. This could be a thing here, chat.
What? These are false notions.
This could be a thing
here,
chat.
Don't butter me up, meaty hooks. That's not how this works. You guys, it's random. It's a ticket-based system. Now, when we type in giveaway at Monument here,
join our Discord. Can you type the Discord link in chat for me, Chris?
Yeah, of course. Hey, yeah.
So what I need you to do, chat, is everybody go in there on Discord. He is Christmas Sushi.
Do not do this.
And everybody needs to send him some butter up comments.
No.
Tell him how wonderful he is, and that'll increase your chances to win.
If you do, there will be a guarantee potential.
He will remove your name from the list.
I will no. Ticket-based system that Chris has absolute control over. Cannibal, no. I don't have control over it. It's random. Right, wink, wink. Hey, no, it's random. I'll record it. Why not? I'll give you the proof. You have none. I have proof. Hey, meaty hooks, thank you. I know what you're trying to do, though. Butter me up. I'm not looking younger. I'm looking way older.
They want the keys to the car, Chris.
I've lost many years, meaty hooks.
Hey, Dad, you're looking really good today.
Hey,
I'm liking that
thanks,
outfit.
Son.
I'm liking that
some
outfit.
Money.
Hey, Dad.
Don't hey, Dad, me.
I was thinking.
I never met my kids.
Maybe I have a friend who is in really bad straits, and you always taught me that to stand up for your friends, help them out any way you could. And I really want to do this for my friend, Dad. And I want you to know how important your teachings are to me. And boy, did I tell you how good you're looking today, Dad? So anyway, Dad, I need to help this friend out, and I need to borrow the car.
Oh, there it is. Here it is. Chris is the best golfer ever. False, Jack. That's just a lie. I can't even joke about that.
You taught Tiger Woods. What are you talking about?
I do like golf. Did Kyle ever win one? Did Kyle win one too? Did Kyle win a golden demon?
I don't know if Kyle has a golden demon or not.
Hey, you don't need a golden demon. You need a golden. What am I gonna say here?
I don't know, Chris. I don't know.
You
where
need a
you're going.
golden attitude or something like that.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Hey, speaking of going somewhere,
Welcome, everybody.
it is almost 3 p.m.,
I have 2 more things to do, so here we
which
go.
means we are going to be shortly going over to the table and doing the June challenge review. So spread the news. We're going to go over all of your beautiful submissions, which are amazing, always amazing. You guys always knock it out of the park. If you're not familiar with our Discord challenges, every month we do a Discord challenge with a theme specifically for you to test yourself and to try something new. They're for fun. We pick a winner. We send out little prizes here and there, but it is all for fun and getting you to try new things and put paint on the model. June was painting in grayscale. Just use black and white. July is Christmas themed. Now, I know what you're about to say. Chris, what does Christmas themed mean? It means whatever you want. Just has to be Christmas themed. Get creative. Tell me a story, your Christmas themed story.
You have to just paint a Christmas themed model.
A Christmas themed model. Whatever that means to you. Just
Very
tell us
open-ended.
that. Very open-ended.
So that's very. It's going to be hard because that's going to put everybody in their own creative space. So
I know.
I like it.
It's literally. So what is? Because they're like, well, what does this mean? It's like, just tell me a story. It's Christmas themed, whatever that means. It could be. You could paint up the Grinch. I think somebody had mentioned like Krampus. Yeah, get creative.
We always get a lot of Krampuses.
Get
I worry
creative.
about chat. I worry about chat. I don't know that there's a lot of God-fearing chat people. They're like a lot of Krampus-fearing chat.
Why
people.
is your impression of chat Mickey Mouse as Flapjack?
It does sound a lot like.
Hey, everybody! Ho-ho! You need golden sense of humor. Hey, Spaznat, there you go. Wow. Let me just find my little sound box here. Thank you, Spaznat. That was great. Thank you, Spaznat. You need a golden sense of humor. I like that about you, Spaznat, because
That's
you
what
just
we need.
came it
Is
up.
we need to take that sense of humor model.
That's right, and
And
paint it
and-
gold.
and, yeah, make some and then just spray paint them gold, and those will be the prizes. I like this idea. I support this idea.
I think that's great. I think that's an awesome idea, Jason. Do you concur?
We do the little challenge coins. Now we could do like a golden sense of humor.
Just send people a golden sense of humor. Hey, speaking of sense of humor, welcome in.
Welcome in, everybody.
We're so glad you're here. And Jason is going to be retiring over to the table.
One more
over
model
there.
after this, and then I'm good. You just got to deal with it. dude.
Hey, everybody, he's going over there immediately right now in 30 seconds.
No, he's not.
Here we go.
He's not.
Here we go.
No,
He's walking.
no, he's not.
How many of these guys do you have left? What are you doing over
I have
there?
one more guy with his wings to highlight, and then I'll go over there.
Likely story.
You know, it may be a lie, but I would not bet on me lying to you right now. I have one more guy that's wings need to be done. That means I've done a lot so far.
You have done.
I've done a lot, and it's gone a lot quicker than the base coat. So this shows you this is twice as fast as the base coat.
I will, Spaznat. As the creator of the idea, I will send you my address to send me one. Do not make demands of me, chat. I'll bury you. That's okay. I'm here for you, chat. I truly am.
He's hard to understand where he's
Chat,
coming from.
no, let's get real.
This
man.
is like a weird love.
Let's
thing
get
here,
real.
right? I think this is one of those like codependent relationships.
Here's what I'll say.
Where it's really, really hard to get a bead on whether or not they're really nice people. Like I don't know about Chris. You know, it's
Chat.
like I want to believe that
Chat,
this relationship is
chat.
built on a foundation of true love
I
and
think,
affection and respect and all that good stuff. And then he's like Sybil.
chat, here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Let me just break it down for you. My name's Chris, and I love chat.
But
Clip it.
oh,
You heard me.
I thought there was a butt coming.
There
You
is
left
no
that
butts.
hanging.
I give butts.
We're about to give some butt tomorrow.
Sorry, I love you, chat. Now, I will say this. It's not a but. There's no buts here.
Here we go.
There are 3 things that make me mad, chat,
He can't remember them right
and
now.
I don't know what they are.
He can't remember them right now.
I can't. So right now, you're all on my beautiful happy list. I think about you all the time. Like, is chat going to respond to this? Is chat going to correct my grammar on this one? Is chat going to do this? Is chat going to ask me about this thing? And I'm like, you know what? I tell them to keep me accountable, and they do. You do. We do. Us do. We the people. That's right. That's my TED Talk.
He gets paid for this, Chad. I just want you to know.
Wad, hey everyone, go ahead and give yourselves 1,000 sushi points. Wad, false. Those are counterfeit. Only I can give out sushi points. Hey, meaty hooks, I know what you're doing. Don't do it. Don't butter me up. I ain't no popcorn. I gotta keep my eyes on the prize. I can't get distracted by your compliments and your do-gooderies. Orkyfish says, I ask myself often, what would Chris do? Would he fix it in post? You should be asking that because you should actually be saying, should you fix it in pre? Because I'm not even joking. That will save you so much time if you just fix it in pre.
But that's kind of like saying fix it when it ain't broke. That's fix it before it breaks is what that really means. Yes,
that's exactly it. For me, it's like, well, I could do this thing on shooting day, and then you pay for it later if you decide not to do that thing. Ooh.
They're bugs.
Vespids are...
I'm still really liking that wing color, though. It's nice.
Hey, that's a cool wing color, dude.
And then boom.
Wow. He's walking. He's walking. Hold.
Goop 2.0.
Challenge review. Oh, challenge review.
2.0.
Challenge review.
Hi!
Oh, challenge review. Your mic is now on. Oh, challenge review. Oh, challenge review.
Happy birthday.
Oh, it's really loud when you do it like that.
Mr. Christopher.
It's probably... let me turn that down a little. There you go. Sing
Why
for
did
me?
you turn it back up? You know, when I talk into this thing, it's like I am the bull in the china shop.
There it is. That's better.
It's at least I did this soft Barry White. Like, well,
he did.
Happy birthday.
Christmas is next month. Treebeard, no. Christmas is this month, July. Hey,
how am I liking retirement? I see the question.
Are you retired?
I have retired until tomorrow, at which point they put me back to work. They never let me actually retire. You probably need to turn it down a little bit more. It keeps peaking up high.
I have it, Jason. I have it. Never peak. I have something hard limit.
No, you don't, because I'm watching it.
No, it'll never hit 0 ever.
But it'll blow people's ears out.
That's true. Let me turn it down. Here we go. I fixed it.
Media Hook says, please sing more.
There we go. That's Chris's now too loud. There we go. Hey, Jason, I fixed it. You happy with me? None of that. Here we go. It's June Discord challenge. Now to recap, we are painting white, black and white. Don't. He's faking you out, chat. He's faking you out. His mic's on. His mic is on. It's black and white. Only use black and white. It was grayscale. Jason, are you ready?
Flapsack says, good bit. That was a good bit.
You're a good
bit. Good bit. Good bit, Chris. That's why you keep me around.
You're
Pay
a
me
good
big
bit.
bucks.
Here we go. Speaking of Flapjack Nickelsack, this is beautiful.
I really dig this.
It's really good. I'm telling you guys.
I like the texturing that you've pulled off.
Yeah.
This is awesome, Flapsack. The metal, right? The armored plate on there has got a really good texture to it. Then you've got a more polished texture to some of the beading and the trim, and then the crown, I guess I'll call it.
Yep.
But then the skin sits apart from both of those, right? So the skin has a little bit of a different texture. I can see that your brushstroke on the skin gives it that feel of a different material from the metal and such. And then, of course, the hair could largely be defined to the sculpt, but don't let that fool you because you still have to be able to pull the highlights away to keep the depth of, the almost wool nature of her hair. When you have that tight afro kind of hair, it's keeping that contrast in it to make it look like it has that depth, which is really good. So while the sculpt does a lot of that work, great, brilliant work. The eyes look wet. This is a fantastic job of using black and white.
Yeah. Excellent job,
I love
it. It really is good.
Fantastic.
I won't give you extra points, though. You should have photoshopped your hands out.
Well, he had to put that there so we knew he didn't just do a black and white photo.
That's true.
Because I'm always worried on these. Like, shame on you.
No, they had to submit those with the color, so everybody here was on the straight and narrow.
Media Hooks, yeah, he killed it. Absolutely killed it.
General Ginkgo
also looking great.
Yep.
This is a great model. This one, I love the texture, like the beat up nature. I'm seeing quite a bit of texture on the horn there. Is that an engraving on that horn? I never can remember. I feel like there's like an engraving on the one horn.
I don't know.
Right? There's a really good artistic texture to the whole thing. I think that here I would like to see the method of applying texture to be different from skin to cloth. You have the same kind of hash mark, heavy brushstroke. I don't say heavy because that typically means like thick brushstroke. I would like to have seen maybe some stippling on the cloth versus the same linear texture that you've done, or vice versa, more stippling on the skin. You can set your value sketching up with the same brushstroke, but then use like to blend or to soften it out, use a little bit more of another texture like a stippling, or like we saw in the armor before, something that smooths it out. But I love it. This is a great artistic way to show this, and your volumes are really good. I love the brightness that's on there, right? You've got good shadow, good contrast. This is one of those that you get to see all of the shapes by virtue of where the shadow and the highlight falls. So great job. I really like it.
Yeah, excellent work.
Just a little more material separation would have been great. Ooh.
General Ginkgo, submission number 2.
Ginkgo.
Yep, there's another one. The eyeball really sticks out to me on this one.
Yeah. And this one where you've done, like you've had to use the forced line texture on the tentacles to get them that earthworm feel, like that segmented feel, which I really love. So that works really well.
Yeah.
And then the skin, you've got some blotchier textures on this skin, which I may be seeing that you might have had something like that on the other one, but I think the scale here represents it better. So again, you have that different material focus because you haven't done the same sketchy, blotchy texture on the tentacles that you did on the skin. So again, I'm always looking at black and white as a way to separate out materials. You don't have color to show me what the difference is between materials, because you can paint the leather brown and the brain's going to relate to, it's on the foot, it's brown, it's a shoe or a boot, it's leather. Since you strip color back out of it, you have to do more work with your brush, which is why Greyscale is such a great treatment and teaching mechanism, because it forces you into having to use your brush technique to tell more of the story because you are stripping the color out of it. And then when you get good at that, now color only accentuates all that work. You'll still continue to do that texture and material work no matter what the color is, because all of us can imagine taking this model and putting like a couple of colored washes on certain things, like, like a purple or magenta on those tentacles, some greens and colors where it's shifting out of his skin, and then a flesh wash on the flesh, and you wouldn't lose any of the detailing here. It would look fantastic. So great job on this one. This one really kicks it. I like it.
Tech Elf.
What the heck?
Very cool.
Tech Elf, this is amazing.
Yeah, I really like this. Very dramatic.
Yeah,
like
very, very good
here.
work on this, right? Especially as I'm looking at the lighting direction kind of coming from the front, and as I see this top view, how we dip into shadow very quickly behind the figure, and everything to the front is really good. Now, there's a lot of texture baked into the sculpt on this one, but you've captured it all very, very well with the use of your shades and highlights, right? No real abrupt change in your lighting, which shows me that all of the materials are fairly soft.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not getting a lot of super shine, a little bit on the mushroom caps, but not much.
Yep.
So I like the very soft nature of this, right? It has a really artistic feel to it because of that. Great job. You guys are killing it. Holy
this
mackerel.
one, like I said, this month is a big one.
What the?
Hive Mind.
I quit.
I know. Gets better.
These people are supposed to need more of my input on their painting. That was the whole thing. That was in my contract, Christopher.
That was in your contract?
Sit here and review this, they can't all be perfect.
They're all really good. They're all very, very good.
Hive Mind, great work on this guy. Again, the metal looks really good. Great job on that. I think that, like I mentioned with one of the others, is maybe do a little bit of alteration. You don't have a lot of skin on just kind of the mask and nose, being shown.
Yeah.
So maybe on that, spend a little bit more time with a different texturing or brush technique than you did on the metal. So that it gives a different material. Of course, the beard has its own texture baked into the sculpt, so it's just capturing the tops of the hairs. You did great there. The gem in the middle looks fantastic. It has that wet, polished jewel look.
The gem really sticks out.
Yeah, the armor I think you've done the right texturing on the armor. I would do a different texture on the face. The thing that we do when we use those linear brush strokes like you see me do so often on my non-metallic metal, that is indicative of harder surfaces. You can pull it off on cloth too, but on cloth, things like stippling and a little bit more of a smudgy brush stroke, right? So that they're not as, I used the term linear before, I think works well, but the metal looks fantastic. Everything works well. I really love how on the helmet I can tell that you almost have two, like the trim of the metal I can tell is different than the inlay or the main helmet portion of it. So great job in separating all of that with just really subtle differences in your grays too. Good job.
Zombie.
I quit.
This one's very good. Very good.
Zombie killing it.
Nosferatu.
Killing it. This is a good example of what I just mentioned, right? Look at the way that the face has the paint applied. There's texture to it still, but it's very short brush strokes instead of long linear separation. And then look at the coat. The coat has longer linear separation so that you see the brush strokes more. You can see the line work done on the coat so that it looks. To me, it feels like from the sculpt, it would be like a thicker leather or a very thick, a fabric of some sort. But it gives me the feeling that it has weathered, it's been worn, it's creased. If I looked at this in color, the color should not be even. It has a worn look to it. But then you look at the skin, and the skin, because it doesn't have that same texturing, you can tell these are different materials. If I touch them, they're going to feel different, right? That's the whole key. Wet look on the eye is fantastic.
Yeah, I was just about to say that one really sticks out to me.
Yeah.
Which Campbell says was trying for an old school woolen coat. Nosferatu Symphony of Horror. Yeah, that's cool.
Remember that on things like wool will want a lot more stippling, right? It doesn't mean you can't set up your values and your light placement with the line work that you've done, and then add some stippling that goes from your brightest areas and then just fades out into the line work too. It'll help give that coarseness that the wool has. Even at a very tight woven wool in a coat, it still has a spottiness to it when you look at it and the way light reflects.
I love the hands too.
Oh, it's all great. Yeah, the skin work on this is fantastic. The eyebrows, right? You really capture the eyes perfectly with the sizing of the iris and the directional look and the wet look of the shine of the eyes, right? I love the lips, right? The dark upper lip really pulls it off. The little bit of shine on the lower lip. Everything here is fantastic. Perfection.
Nice.
Great job, guys. Loving these.
Zombie number 2.
Ooh, an angel.
An angel.
Angel?
Angel of Death.
Yeah, I like it. Pulling off more of a bright coloring on this, more angelic, white wings, white robe, or skirt. So this one has a lot different focus to it. The material on the metal obviously looks, heavier, sharper, harder.
Yeah.
And then I feel like maybe on this one a little bit of loss of material separation between feather, cloth, and skin. Right? See, and I only say that because of your previous work kind of set you up on this one to where not showing me that same separation on these, right? Because the whenever you do feathers and you have that kind of finger texture because it's lots of little hairs almost, then you have to think in terms of how do I take that and not reproduce that on other things. Even though with a feather it's less of a weathering or a texture, it's more of just how the feather is, right? How light's going to reflect off of the way a feather is a bunch of individual hairs that make it. But you're going to have to take the understanding that that's the visual representation of it. How can I use something different on cloth so that I separate those brush strokes out and don't use them? And I'm seeing that same linear texturing on the skin here too. But great work. Great use of the value to pull off the bright colors there.
Dyslexic Mini Painter.
Ooh,
carbon black, titanium white.
Easy peasy. I like it. I think there's one thing I'll say about this one. The photo is throwing this. I can tell because it's a little overexposed.
Yeah, a little bit.
One of the hardest things when doing black and white is I feel like I'm probably not seeing all the contrast you really have on this model. Because I would like to, and so let me back up. A lot of you that have been here before will understand that all of the comments that I make are simply about the photo I'm seeing. If when you hold this model in your hand, the things that I'm saying that I would look into, you feel like are already done, that you're like, I don't understand why you're saying that. I've already done that, because the photo sometimes isn't representative of what's actually happening
We all
with the model due
understand
to
we don't have
lighting and such.
lighting, yep.
So always take it with a grain of salt. If you've done all this stuff, if I'm seeing something that doesn't really exist because of overexposure, like I would say I would want to see the hood versus the cloth and the armor and the skin to be variations of values. I'm seeing too much consistency of value across the model. Everything is at a very similar layer of brightness, whereas the hardened metal would be at a brighter level, assuming it had any polish to it, than the cloth. The face here looks to be almost the brightest thing, right? And then I'm assuming she's wearing gloves. I see the wrinkles on the hand, so I would assume there's like a leather there. So I would just want to see a little bit more variation in brightness to darkness between all of these different components. Play the metal a little bit, or a little bit brighter. The gloves on the hands a little bit darker, to kind of fool us into thinking what color it might be. Think in terms of, brown, when you like a dark brown, when you photo it next to a beige, will give you two values, even though they're in the same light. Right? So be thinking in those terms. You can fool us into thinking about color by lowering or raising the brightness of a thing, even though the light that's hitting this is all the same intensity. Then you brighten edges on metal to give it a hard surface, a little more polish, things like that. But this is great. The brushwork on it is fantastic.
Wedge.
This is the Marvel Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Where they couldn't model it with the right hair.
Oh, yeah?
They had to give him long hair. I remember talking to them. There was something about Marvel and the Universal Monsters thing that they couldn't give it the short hair that it had in the comics.
Really?
There's something really weird about the design, I think. I could be lying to you, but I believe that was a conversation I overheard.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Because this version of Frankenstein in the comic book still had the short hair, like the standard what you think
like
of
the square,
bolts in the neck, short hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I have a bunch of these old monsters. You know. It had Dracula.
I love
That's why their Dracula can't look like the Bram Stoker Dracula, but he did in the comics. He had the cloak and the tie and the whole nine.
I didn't know that. Huh.
But they had to change a lot of that in the miniatures because I think they don't have the ability to do because of the Universal Monsters.
Interesting. Okay.
Rights. Yeah. Yeah, I love this. This is great. Great work. This is a good example of what I meant when I said, hey, look at how the brightness and darkness work across this. The vest looks darker, even though it's higher on the model and is in the same light, but the darkness then performs the idea that we know it's a darker color at its base, right? Looks like maybe the initial values were set on this guy with dry brush. So I'm seeing a lot of texture on the legs and across everything. Be careful with the dry brush when doing this. That it's a great way to set up your values, but it also gives texture and the same texture across everything. So right now I'm seeing that all of these materials, other than the hair on his head and the fur of the vest, tend to look very similar. Although I will say there's a brightness to the chain that I really like. Right, the chain looks like a different material than the hand that's holding it, which is really good. So some good work being done here. I really like the base too. The shadow on the base really is pulled off well. Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Again, everybody remember what power you have in your hands with the brush. The length of stroke of the brush, the separation of brush strokes, the being able to do pixels, dot, pointillism. All of these things that you can do with the brush are your ticket to separating material out instantaneously. A lot of lines close together where it almost doesn't seem like there are any lines is one material. Spread the lines out a little bit, becomes a little bit rougher material. Do it with dots on it, right? And doing stippling, and it makes it look like wool or something that is a tightly woven material. So you have all of that power with just the same brush. You don't even have to do anything other than change how you're touching the model to put paint on it. This guy's really cool.
He's fun.
This is like one of the Marvel United. I just don't know who this is.
Yeah, it's a Chibi or something? The Chibi
it feels
ones?
like the Marvel United ones, but I don't know this character.
Yeah.
So
I love the gun. I like this model.
I like the various temperatures of gray. Right, we've got more or less white and black mixed together, but you've got a different gray on the coat than you do on the uniform.
Spider-Man Noir.
It could be Spider-Man Noir. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's
gotcha,
cool.
Yeah. Anthony says my painting is like a drunk crazy man. Mine too. Mine too.
Spider-Man Noir. Interesting.
Yeah, no, I like it. Again, we've got a good separation of coloring here through your grays. So it's a way to fake color by just how you've mixed the black and the white, or perhaps different blacks and whites or grays that you're using that I think works really well.
Nice.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's spell number 2.
Is this, okay, wait.
Who is this?
This guy was, what was he just in? Was this a Spider-Verse guy? Spot? Was this the Spider-Verse? Was he just in like the Spider-Verse, the latest animated one? Is that where I saw this guy?
Maybe so.
They're both in Spider-Verse. Gotcha,
Okay.
gotcha. Spot.
This is a cool model.
There was a guy, I don't remember his name being Spot because he didn't look like this. There was a bad guy that I think was Spider-Man that had a black hole in his chest. I think maybe he was called Black Hole.
I have no idea.
I think he was maybe called
First
Black
time
Hole.
I'm seeing or have even heard.
And they got rid of him because I think it was Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man grabbed him and shoved his arm into his black hole, and it sucked him in, and he just went boop.
Oh, like his chest had a black hole.
His
like
chest had a black hole, and
Interesting.
he could suck anything or throw anything into it. Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah, very cool. This one as a black and white test is pretty easy because you've got some good grays showing off like the muscle tone and the shadows in there. I would have liked to have seen more dynamic value from top to bottom, a little bit more shading, a little bit darker value down towards the foot, just to give me more shape. Because it feels with the gray on there. The gray under the chin works, the gray on the temples works, and the stuff underneath the rib cage and six pack, it works. I think I would have gone maybe another step with darkness there, mixed a little bit darker gray to go on like the inside of the thighs and stuff like that. But great job. I like it. This is a really neat comical piece. Anna Starkey, this one unfortunately is going to suffer a little bit from the background. So I'm probably not going to do it justice in talking about it because the material in the background has such a texture to it that it's throwing off where the wings and the feel that I get there. I will say that the value I'm really liking, and the fact that this is kind of like that angel we saw that did a lot of white. This is almost a reciprocal of that, doing a lot of black. This is all done with a lot of darker color and only brightness up to where the shine would be. So I really dig it. I like the, it's not really a spear, the icon that is on the pole
This is a Daughters of Cain model, I believe.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's like one of those named heroes, I believe.
Gotcha.
It's a cool model. I love the base.
Now, does it have legs? It's not one of the snake ones, right?
No, see, there's the leg right there.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The marble stone is awesome. Yep.
Yeah, the stone looks good. I'd love to see. Are there more close-ups in the Discord of this one?
Mm-hmm.
I might need to go to the Discord.
Yeah,
and
go
look
check
at this
that
one
out.
I feel like I'm not doing justice to speak on this one because the background throws me off for the texture that I would want to see, and I'm not close up enough to get a feel for the brushwork. But at face value, looking at it, I love the fact that this one gives me the feel of darkness. Everything on here with the black, but I still have the gray that I can see the outline of the feathers, so I didn't lose any dimension. I can still see detail out of it, which is the goal, but you didn't pull that detail out being so bright that it starts looking like a pinstripe suit. It's really hard to pull off black and painting black and white. It's hard to paint black no matter what, but we can cheat it with blues and things like you've seen me do when we use color. This one, it's hard to know when to stop with your grays because at some point in time it becomes gray or it becomes too bright to pull off black anymore, right? And so this is a great job because everything almost looks like this almost has the feel of having primed it and put it in a bright light.
Yeah.
Right? Which is great because you're pulling off all that texture. Like the hair is a little bit brighter, the marble's a little bit brighter. Everything has balance of value. I'll take a look at the Discord, see if there's a cool more close-up one.
Anna Starkey says, yeah, I can put a non-background pic. Yeah, the background, the model's awesome. The background has a little too much contrast and texture, so I would definitely do that. But it came out great.
Believe it or not, one of the best ways to do black and white is to put something like a tan flat piece of construction paper behind it. Something that adds a little bit of color in. But yeah. Oh.
Thumb palette.
Yeah, very cool.
Ooh. Predator.
Very, very cool. Again, the differentiation on the brushstroke is going to be what carries this model through, right? A lot of the linear separation, but the armor on him on the shoulder there is definitely brighter. You got more contrast there, as well as the things on his dreads, right? The little cuffs on the dreads and everything. So not knowing when and where to put your highlights brighter gives us that material separation, which is so cool. Skin looks really good. I think I probably, again, would have found one of these, and in most cases on this guy, the skin itself, to bring in something like a stipple into it. I really would love to see everybody get a little bit more out there with trying to use stippling as a method to add on top of what you've done here. You don't have to change anything that you've done, but on one of these materials, either the armor, because maybe it's a hardened leather instead of metal, or on the skin, I would say on most cases on this one, because it will give you the presence of a different material, and skin loves to have that stippled effect on it sometimes, so long as there's not also a lot of fabric, right? I love it. The interplay of brightness and darkness on that one, again, gives me a lot of material, so I'm really digging it.
Thumb palette.
Is it still called an owlbearer?
Oh, yeah.
Something else.
Thumb palette. I know what you did here, thumb palette. I know what you did.
I don't see anything.
Do you see what I see?
I see a blank image. There's nothing there.
Yeah. Thumb palette. I see what you did, and I just need to clarify my little pinned messages that are all super organized now, that look really nice with all the little emoji bips and schlappies and all that. There's a part where I tell you the rules. Now, I appreciate what you did, but I don't know what to tell you, Thumb Palette.
This is a personal affront.
Thumb Palette, this is
I
on
will
you.
not stand for it.
This is on you. Hey, you tried. You tried. You're welcome. Thank you, Thumb Palette. I hear you. You are disqualified.
He says you're welcome.
You're welcome. And see, there's proof that this was not a black and white photo. There's no green on that model. Technically correct, but is the model all one thing? That's the question here. It doesn't matter. The model.
Cecil says, "Can we get a tutorial for that base, though? You bastards!"
I don't know what's up.
Oh, I'll give you a tutorial.
Oh, I'll give you a
green base tutorial. You guys got it coming now.
Base rings don't count.
This lashing out at me, this has done it. This has crossed the line and put me over the mark. Christopher,
Jason,
we're doing it.
Jason,
we're doing it.
You could do that tomorrow.
We're doing it.
You could do that on stream tomorrow.
We'll do it live tomorrow. On the birthday stream. That's how mad I am right now.
Wow. Thumb Palette, this is a cool thing. And when I mean thing, I mean model.
Is the base part of the model thread locked by mods after 23,948,291 posts? Jen would tell you no.
That the base isn't a part of it? No, the base is 100% a part of the model. 100%.
One of the largest struggles in my life to this point, and I am 55 plus years old now, has been trying to convince Jen that when storytelling, the base is part of the story.
Oh, 100%.
And to have her return to me that then my story is that all of my models are standing on asphalt because of the little textured black bases on all of the models.
That's hilarious.
She will just paint them black.
Because you don't...
And she doesn't care.
Wow. Yeah, that's great.
Care. She doesn't care.
She
has all these wonderfully painted Princess Bride models.
Yeah.
That we got from Impact Miniatures. She did a wonderful job on every single one of them.
Sure. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
They're all standing on asphalt because that's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, we just heard. Jason might take that old hammer model and do a green base.
There's no might, Christopher.
There's no might.
It's gonna happen.
You're gonna do it.
I'm doing it.
But you're gonna use. You know what you could do.
I'm gonna mix Goblin Green. We're painting a base.
No.
Old style.
Jason,
just shush. You
don't
get to boss me around anymore.
You use our new texture trainer tube things.
You don't get to boss me around anymore.
Oh my gosh, use the texture trainer tubes.
Nope. I do my own thing.
Okay, here we go. Hemlock.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Yeah, again, immediately what I see on this one is the difference between value, right? So I know this is like a drow or some type of dark-skinned wizard,
Yeah.
elfy type. I can't see her ears, but obviously the skin being in that darker gray provides me with an idea of coloration, right?
Yep.
So I know her skin is dark. And especially when contrasted with the brightness of the white shawl. Is that what that's called?
I think
and
it
then
is.
the hair, right? So it gives me the idea of a drow, like with that
Yep.
standard like ice white hair on purpley black, inky black skin.
Yeah.
The wood and the skirt are give me a good definition of material based off of that.
Yep.
I love it. I think on the heads on the pole, I probably would have varied that brightness a little bit to give me the idea of varied skin color on those heads.
Yep.
You did such a great job everywhere else. I think there we kind of lose. They all look very samey as they're stuck on the pole, but this is fantastic. The candles look great.
Yeah.
The brightness of the flame on the candle versus the melted wax versus the body wax color. Just a fantastic use of grayscale to pull off dimension, volume, material, everything. This is really good. Again, I think the theme of this one is more stippling.
Yeah.
The first person that shows me good stippling and use of brush texture and variation of brush texture on all of this stuff is going to win.
Mm.
There you go. I threw
Nice.
the gauntlet down. And
Treat it-
and if the base isn't green, just going to throw that out there.
Treebeard.
Ooh. I love it. Extra points for the orange ball, too, just to know you're keeping it real.
Photoshopped. That could be any color.
And the model's fun,
Yeah.
right? The model's fun. I have a real problem with the anatomy of her leg, but I love the model.
It's very interesting.
It's very weird. It's too
It's very
it's too
zombie-fied.
fawn. It
Yeah.
has that because of the way the calf muscle is misplaced. It
Yeah.
has a real problem with looking like a fawn, like a deer leg,
Yeah.
right?
She's undead. She's stitched together.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's what that is.
I like it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, up on the leg, look like a garter,
Yeah.
but it's like clamps.
So it must the leg backwards. That's funny.
I love it.
It's sewn on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Treebeard,
And again, good
great
job. Coloration.
No, this is a great picture.
Skin and texture. It all looks really good here. Crab, corporal crab.
Corporal crab.
This one's really good. Again, using the color, right, to change the grays, brighter, darker, black, white. Using all of those in here to pull off the idea that each of these things is a different color, right?
Yeah.
It's funny when I look at these, my brain goes to maybe that. Obviously, the coat is something like a bright white or an ivory, but when I look at the inside hood and tunic and everything, I'm thinking red.
Yeah.
It's funny. I don't know why, but that's where my brain goes. And so when black and white can cause me to think in color, that's when you've really done it well. So even though I'm not seeing a lot of texture here, your use of color has made up for it to give me the idea and put me in this round because the boots are a different color than the tunic, right? The robe and the tabard there are different.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really liking it. Great job. Ooh,
We done.
I like this because of the kind of bluish grays.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. The cool grays. It gives me that frost giant feel, right? Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. The intensity of lighting from his left shoulder, right, giving me that kind of lighting direction coming from the 2 o'clock on him is pretty good. I would let yourself go from those bright reflections or bright highlights that are on the hair and the bandage across the eye and bring in some midtones as you go down through the hair of the beard, right? They're probably there, but there's too much value and contrast between the brightest highlights on the beard and then the next step down. Need to have a little bit more mixing there like you have on some of the skin. Like the skin makes an easier transition from bright to dark.
Yeah.
And remember that even though beards might be shiny, they're not that shiny, right?
Mhm.
I mean, so I think just giving that mid-tone layer on the beard really does it. And I would be a little careful on the skin with, like, on the right, what is his right shoulder, our left as we're looking at it, how textured you got with that when your texture everywhere else is a little more controlled, right? So I love the sketchiness of it. Just understand that you probably, if you tighten up the sketchiness on the side with the light, then you probably want to tighten the sketchiness up on the side that's supposed to be in darkness, because the darkened side won't show as much texture as the bright side, right? There's a point where you oversaturate with light and you lose texture, but at the point where you're at, you'd have more texture in the light, I think, than on the dark side. So just be careful with that. But I really love it. I could immediately see where the light was coming from on this, which is great. I love that the brightness on the whatever he's carrying on the back is shield, perhaps.
I think so.
It's like a shield. And I get the feel of it being a hard surface, a lot brighter there, a lot more reflection on it, even though it's banged up and has good texture, like it's been to battle. So really good storytelling here. I love it.
No,
same with the metal on the hilt
it's
of
not
whatever
yet.
he's holding, or he's like a metal thing on like his hammer or whatever.
This
that
is Whedon's daughter,
Oh, fantastic!
which is awesome, Whedon. I think that's awesome.
How old?
Yeah, Whedon, I see you in there. How old was she? Say she was like 9 or something like that? I was trying to remember. I don't know. Let's see. 9 years old, yeah.
9 years old. Has she
9
painted
years.
before? Is this one of the first stabs she's taken at a model? Yeah, Swag's like, wait a minute, 9? Why does Whedon's daughter paint better?
Second model. Yeah, she
All
did a
right,
great job.
is she near you right now? She should be very proud
This
of
is
this.
awesome. This
The
is super
blocking in
cool.
of color on this is something special, right?
First
like
Greyscale.
looking at the nose, the forehead, the area beneath the eyes, the hair, that beard on the front. I just a great job with blocking and colors on there. Fantastic. She's sleeping. Go kick her out of bed.
This
Hey,
is
kid,
great. This
great
is
job.
super cool to see.
No, I love it. And to have a 9-year-old start thinking in these terms
9, I
where you're like,
quit.
why are those? Yeah, Bunter's just like 9,
9,
I quit. She's going to be a holy terror here in a year or two. Yeah, if you were directing her into where to put color, she nailed it, right? She's got it, right? She understands. She's got that variation in grays going on there. The brightness is there a little, obviously the things that come with age and control and experience she's going to be great if she sticks with it. Great job.
Yeah,
Make sure to tell her we thought that was a great
super
job.
cool.
A lot of promise in that. Pietro, we've seen this model before.
Another one.
Yeah.
I love this. I really liked this.
This is a really
I like
neat
those
study
sculpts.
between the two, because this one takes a different take on what I was saying. The other one wasn't using that comic sketchy outline style. It was just using color for volumes. And on that one, I wanted to see a little bit darker grays to give me more dimension. This one, on the other hand, sits and takes the comic book style where you're using it like pen and ink outlining, and it puts black outlining in there to do that same thing. This is, for all intent and purpose, the exact same paint job we saw on the other one, with the addition of the ink style black lining. And that black lining gives me a dimension the other one did not have. So this is another way that you can do that, right? You can give a little bit more volume to things by finding their outer edge in the black. It's hard to do on a three-dimensional surface because all you can really do is line the interior details. You can't outline the perimeter of the model because there is no perimeter, right? Because it's three-dimensional.
Okay, is the idea is that this thing is...
It's a missile goes into him and out of his... It goes in one hole and out another one.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Also with the smoke on that one, if you go back, the smoke is set apart in a good way of using different grays and black for that, so I get the feel of that smoke trail a little bit differently, so I love that. Great job on this.
Man. Oh, I love the story on this one.
I love these little dudes.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
I love the stars in his helmet.
Oh, yeah, the reflection of space.
Yeah, this is really cool. I really like this one.
Very neat. I love how the white on his body for the suit is different than the white that's been used on everything else. It has that yellowish tone to it.
Yeah.
So good job on that. Yeah, this one's fun. Like a quick and easy, like almost dry brush on the foam diorama base.
I wonder how big this is.
Lots of fun. Well, I think that little guy is like literally like
you seen these before?
maybe a half an inch tall.
Nice. Okay.
Remind me if I'm wrong. It might be like half or 3/4 of an inch tall. He's tiny. It's like these little 3D printables that I've seen people doing, and they put them in little dioramas with crazy stuff going on.
This was great. I really like the values on this one.
Well,
Nice. Cool.
on something like this, it would have been nice if we go back. And not to detract from anything that's here.
Yeah.
But one of the things that would be really cool with this is to do a very, very intentional dynamic lighting, because you have the idea of in space. So if using him with that white suit is to have like a much longer shadow and much longer, light attached to it, so it doesn't make it feel like the ambient light of Earth. It makes it feel like maybe the sun's way far off and there is no atmosphere, right?
Oh, okay.
And to pull it, because, we have light. When you go stand outside, you have this 360-degree lighting because we have an atmosphere that reflects light differently. The sunlight that comes in doesn't hit any object on the ground as a solid beam. It diffuses through the atmosphere and then hits you from all angles and bounces off environment.
Okay.
As you get into into environments that don't have atmospherical elements to it, there's nothing to reflect the light, then the sun's light hits like a beam. Whoop. So you can imagine how that would work, how much darkness there would be in contrast to brightness.
Good
You'd have this model like half bright and half black.
Interesting.
You wouldn't have much gradient between the two either, because it's like a spotlight at that point, because there's nothing happening to the light from its source to its object.
Yeah.
It's hitting.
So
something fun like that might be cool to think about when doing this again. But I love it. Yeah.
Yippee.
What's this guy's thing? This one's called Red or something like that.
Is this
What's that?
Is this one of Miniac's models?
No, it's one of the Mineworks.
Mineworks,
Yeah.
right.
I think it's called Red or something like that.
Nice.
But yeah, great job on this. Again, I'm seeing some texture that looks
Gauntlet's
like
came out
dry
great.
brush.
Mm-hmm.
For maybe some of your initial value sketch, it might also be airbrush spatter. If you look down the length of the underarm there, see that texturing? Right? That texturing doesn't feel intentional. It feels part of the process. So I would be careful with that, because that texture, if it's on the whole model, because you set up your values like that on the whole model, then it pulls all those materials and makes them feel similar. So be careful when doing that initial value. If you're going to use a dry brush, make sure that you do it in a way that controls that texture really well. But again, great job on this. I think because this model is mostly skin, I think finding a way to pull that metal apart through color, because you've given it that darker gray, right? And then the hard outlined edges, I think feels really good. So great job on that. Yeah, the metal reads different than the skin, other than that unified texture from whatever that process is. I think it's more of a dry brush style process that's on there. But great job on the grays for the leather. Feels like a different material than the metal, than the skin and the hair. So this is a good use of the color of grays, because, you have, I won't say infinite, but you have a lot of stages of white to black that pass through all those various grays that you can pull off and use that in your favor for color and material. Good stuff.
Magpie.
Who dat?
Magpie.
No. Who's the model?
I don't know.
Me neither.
It's Magpie.
It's Magpie.
It's Magpie.
I like it. I like that cloak. I like the first shots, the cloak with the highlight working from black to gray.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get the best contrast on the one in front of the bottles, right, with that cloak coming out from behind, which is really cool. Again, be a little careful with how bright you go with your highlights across the different materials, so that you don't make one thing look too shiny. But I'm digging this.
It's a little model.
That is a little model. Now
it
that you
is.
say that, right?
That's
only up to the height of the.
like
so that's like 40 mil.
This is really tiny.
Like 40 mil,
Yeah.
maybe. Total height, not that tiny.
Not too bad. It looks tiny.
Our bottles are 85 millimeters tall, so that gives you an idea of where he is. I don't remember how tall they are to the shoulder, like something like that, like 35 or 40.
Great job. I love the snow base too.
Yeah.
Ross the boss. Another Nosferatu.
Oh, I love this one too. It's a different sculpt, but I love Nosferatu, the old style.
Yeah.
Right.
The old style is really cool.
I dig it. I watched.
Did you watch the new one?
What's it called? I watched it. I watched the new Nosferatu.
Okay.
That I think was called Nosferatu.
Yeah, the new one. I don't know.
It was good. But I also watched a horror flick that was called Last Trip of the Demeter or something like that. That was also about the Demeter, which was the ship that brought him over. Right?
I have no idea.
There were a whole lot of that kind of Nosferatu style feeling things. I in my flights around I watched.
Nosferatu is Dracula, correct?
It's a vampire story, but it isn't.
It's not exactly
No.
Dracula. Okay, gotcha. I thought it was like
Last Voyage of the Demeter. Yeah,
gotcha. Okay.
You thought they were both terrible. I feel like
The new one?
I
Was it
feel
any
like
good?
Nosferatu was actually okay. It wasn't what I expected. The Last Voyage of the Demeter was rough, right? But it was still okay. Neither one of them were as dark and brooding as I wish they would have been. They were a little too Hollywood, but I thought they were both okay.
This is cool. I like the marble base.
Yeah, Last Voyage of the Demeter is based on like a single chapter from the book Dracula. I believe so. He ate everyone in the end. Yeah, exactly. That was the daunting part. We'll go back on that one. I didn't really talk about it. I would like to see the blacks have a little bit more depth.
Yeah.
Especially up on the collar where I have the damage, the holes in it. But I do like the fact that the coat and the neck cloth are different. You have like a darker gray for the neck cloth.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the way the lip coloring is, it's almost like I think the neck cloth is red, right? Because the lip color, the way it's registering for me here, and that cloth are the same. So that's kind of cool. That can be really neat to imply color. The wet look, the dot on the eye, I think is great. Yeah, I'm loving it. The skin looks really good and pale, but you still have captured some value on there for the cheek, the sunken cheeks, and the idea of, how almost albino his skin would be. I just want to see the coat have a little bit more going on.
Yeah.
And that's, like I said before, that's one of the hardest things to do because black, as soon as you put any gray on it, starts not looking black anymore. So you have to almost work in stages of grays that feel like black. You can't go too bright or it becomes shiny, right? But I like this. Great. I'm really having fun with these models. And the marble base is fantastic. The way you did the plinth stand as marble there, I think is really great too. Not lost on me.
Ross Boss number 2.
Colossus. Again, I'm really liking this gray that you're using in the middle, and now that I'm seeing it, I'm thinking that maybe you did intend that to be red, right? Well, no. Was that red on him, or was that yellow?
I think that's yellow.
That would be yellow on him, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then the red is going up the shoulders on Colossus, right? But perfect job on the steel face. His metal skin reads really well. The hair as a darker metal where it reads really, really well. So, yeah, great job.
I was looking at making sure it was... Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, great job on the metal skin.
Oh.
This is a cool model. It's like on the prow of a boat, right? Like it's
on the prow of a boat.
But it's like
excuse me.
But it's like broken and shipwrecked, right? Very cool.
I think it's cool that people are really diving into the expert acrylics, the titanium, and the carbon black.
It's such an easy way. They have great opacity. They mix and blend like immediately.
Yeah.
There's no have to try much. I love the texture on the cloak on this one. I love your gradient work on it. The grays come out really good. I think probably a little bit of variation in value between the armor and the cloth, but again, that could be the photo. Mm-hmm. Black and white is really hard to capture.
Yes.
But the armor and the cloak are kind of at the same brightness. I know we have this lightning effect going on. I think that when dealing in black and white, the lighting effects can really have a lot of drama. You can really punch brightness up and leave darkness really dark, which that lightning would do. Or it would pull the shoulder and head area down to the hip where it touches back against the jacket. It would have all that be brighter along that line, and then you would lose a lot of the rest of the model into darkness, which I think you could play with here. But I'm liking it. I'm liking like the little almost like purity seal things on the crotch tabard, and good work here. A lot of variation of color. I just would like to see a little bit more playing around with the depth of grays to make it feel like because a lot of the dimensioning I'm seeing here is just simply the outline of the parts of the model, and less about the volumes of those parts. Except on the cloak. The cloak has some really good work on like the folds.
1 second. I
What was that?
Nacho, thank you for that raid.
Hey, thank you. Welcome, everybody.
Appreciate it.
We are going over our June submissions for our Discord challenge.
Yep.
Which was a painting in grayscale. Any model you want.
Yep.
Pull off a story just in grayscale, using black and white.
Nacho, thank you so much for that raid.
These are some really cool models. All
They
of these
are
kind of fun. I feel like I don't know where these are from, but I like these kind of like drunken sailor, shipwreck models are kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
This one again has a lot of a feel of the setup of the values being done with dry brush.
Yep.
Which I love, but be careful with the texture because it unifies all the materials, right? It has that same texture that will go on everything. So while dry brushing is a very good, quick, and easy way, you can imagine setting up your model for what they call slap chop, right? Using something without an airbrush, you can just use a dry brush to get initial values put on it. Go in heavier with the darker colors when you do that, so that if you go over a black primer and you use like a very dark gray, then you do your first dry brush layer with that dark gray so the texture isn't really visible because you haven't created a lot of contrast. Don't dry brush the model first with white or something very bright because that dry brush texture itself starts to create a lot of contrast on the model that's hard to get rid of. So work it up with the grays because you'll be able to see your volumes. You'll be able to see where the brightness is supposed to go, which is really what that whole dry brush mechanism is intended to do, is show you where the brightness would fall because it catches the high side of the model and leaves the rest in darkness. But do it with a darker gray. Then do it again with a mid-tone gray over the dark gray. And then when you get past that mid-tone gray, pretty much stop dry brushing and start brushing with your normal brush so you don't pick up that texture. And then just paint inside the gray areas that you've created with the dry brushing is a really great skill to learn. So you eliminate that high contrast texture. And the only texture you wind up getting on the model is what you create with the brush. But I love this. Right? I love the model. I love the fact that your directionality of your dry brushing shows me where the lighting is coming from. I think just getting rid of some of that texture so that not all of the pieces look the same. Because right now, pants to jacket to hair to fur on the tail, wood on the mast, or whatever that is that's falling over there, tends to look the same because the texture is the same.
Craven.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Very drama, much cool.
Yeah. And then for all of you, we picked this picture in particular because it was a little diorama bit. I felt like this was the best one. I want to get the full size. Yeah, it came out great.
Yeah, this is incredible. This one is a lot of drama induced because of, like we talked about in that past one with the lightning, and the hammer or sword going over the guy, is that here we have the flame of the torch and we have that light and that drama very dark on the backside of this little mouse dude, looks like a mouse.
Yep.
And then very bright forward from the point of the light across into this, this throne with the old, bony dead king.
Yep.
And then we get a lot of darkness outside of that. So the only light is from the torch and everything falls into mid-tone grays and dark grays after that. So this is a really, really good way to pull that off. I love it.
Yep.
Fantastic work.
Jason, that's it.
That's it?
You have to choose one.
I only get one?
I'll do one and you do one.
Okay, so we get two total.
Yeah.
All right. Back them up.
I'll go slower.
Some really good work. I really like the metal on his face on that Colossus was done really, really well. All of these are fantastic.
This one's mine.
You picking this one?
Yes.
That was quick.
This
okay.
one really stands out to me.
Okay.
I really like
I like it.
I like the little story. I like the stars in the helmet.
Yep.
And I like the little reflection in the helmet. So I really
like
this
being
one.
so simple, it pulls off a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah, and I just like the base. How
I knew it would get you because you like rocks.
I do like the rocks. I do like the rocks. I just like this one. So this
I like
is my
rocks.
pick, man. Great job, by the way.
I like rocks. I feel like I saw a comedian that said that. I like rocks.
All right. Yeah, Bandman. Great job.
This one's great.
For the winners, remember, message me in Discord. I'll need your info, your email address, and name so that I can send you your stuff.
Why do you do this to me, Chris? It isn't really Chris that does this to me. It's everybody else that does
That's
this to
what I haven't done anything. I'm just the messenger.
Go back one. Okay. I don't see anything. Did you move it?
Oh.
My screen went blank.
I see what you say.
My screen went blank. I don't know what's
see
going
what
on.
you're saying. All right, I see what you're saying there.
Oh,
Yes,
there
everybody.
There it is. Now I can see again.
Going off of what Mo said, everybody did a great job. Yes, we do rattle can.
Why you make it so tough? Go back. Okay, keep going. Oh, that was brilliant.
That's it. All right, I'm gonna speed through these again. Bing, 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 bing. I'm kidding. Bing, 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 bing. One more time. Ready? Sucks to be you, Jason, says Mo.
It does suck to be me right now.
One.
I have 4 winners.
You got to pick one.
Really?
Just one.
Don't I own this place?
I don't think so. Just one. I know you want to pick this one.
Are we still looking at stuff? It's gone. My screen's black again. Said you? Okay, there it is. Go all the way to the end.
That's it. Mo says he is the boss. Is he? Who knows? What is he going to pick? Are you ready? And...
I don't like this part, Christopher. I don't like this part, and it's because I'm such a sap, and everybody here has killed it.
Of course. Now,
I feel like giving it to the 9-year-old daughter just so I don't have to have anybody get mad at me for not picking them, because everybody knows why I would pick the 9-year-old daughter. That's my getaway. That's my out here, is that I could do that because she killed it, right? And then I don't have to play this game. But there's so many good ones.
Ready?
Yeah, Hive Mind, you're going to get so mad. I'm telling you. Fastnet said the one time I won, you did give it to everybody. I did? Everybody won?
I don't know about that.
I mean, I have that power.
No. Who are you going to pick, Jason?
This
one's a tough one, huh? How about this? Would it help you if you could pick more than one?
Yes.
Too bad.
But never even. Because then it just makes everybody mad. Because I'm like, then I pick, like, no. I need to get over it. I just need to pick one.
You
Go back
pick
to the
one.
beginning.
There's 2 winners. Bandman and...
Yeah, but you just picked yours because it has rocks.
It spoke
go back
to
to
me.
the beginning, I said.
Go back to the beginning?
Yeah, go back to the beginning.
Bing, 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 bing. Bing.
Okay, go forward. I got to give it to Tech Elf.
I knew it. I knew you were going to pick that one. Pretty cool. Tech Elf. Great job. Now, to reiterate what Jason said, there was a lot of dang good ones.
Holy
all of them.
Mackerel.
You
Ginkgo,
all did.
Traven,
Weedan's daughter.
Flapsack.
That's awesome that she did that. That's awesome. Congrats to everybody.
Flapsack killed it. Ginkgo on that one with the tentacles on the head killed it. Traven with his diorama killed it.
Yeah.
So many of these are just fantastic. They're everything. They blow my mind that you guys are getting so comfortable working in 2 colors like this, because not only does it show the acumen of being able to blend, because the grays have been spectacular through all of this, and also the control of texture I'm seeing is great.
Yep.
To give you the reason why I would pick this one is that the amalgamation of textures on this one feels so good. also with the control of lighting. So this one, I think, just controls value and color and everything to a really, really high level. But all of them did. It's just so hard.
Yeah, you guys all did a
Every
great
model
job.
is different, too. So it's not fair to really pick just the one because each one of these models represents itself in black and white totally differently. You know, so when I look at stuff like Traven's little diorama, fantastic use of light and dark in a different manner. It's not to show off the material. It's to show off the scene and the feel. So I hope that what you're seeing is that painting in black and white, it exists as a way to be able to explore storytelling in multiple facets. It's not just about volumes. It can be about setting mood, right? It can be about texture, right? It can be about volumes. It has to be, when it's in its perfection, it's about all of those things.
Yeah.
Right. And that it really is, hopefully you're seeing as you paint and go through this, it's being able to let you study how removing color doesn't change things.
Right.
Right. Ultimately, it doesn't. Right. I always tell people that if you're having a hard time with your model, take a photo of it and turn it black and white, and it'll tell you where you've made mistakes. Because a lot of times you get so caught up in color that you forget about volume. And when you take that photo and switch it to black and white, your model looks flat. And you can tell in black and white where you need midtones and highlights. So, great job by everybody.
Great job, everybody.
Fantastic stuff.
Take us out, Jason.
Take us out.
It's
That's
4
gonna be
o'clock.
expensive, dude.
Take us out, Jason.
Do I get a late night kiss or anything? for
Nope.
this? Oh.
Nothing.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. It has been a wonderful review. If you would like to join in on these, remember they are not competitions. They are simply fun challenges where we like to challenge the Discord community for stepping outside of the normal painting that you would do. You know, it is just a challenge. Challenge yourself. Challenge what you know about color. Challenge what you know about brushstroke. Challenge what you know about models and storytelling.
Yep.
Because I believe that this world of mini painting doesn't really come alive until you get into that feel of, hey, I can make this model anything I want it to be. And so everything that we throw at you is meant to help you get there. So thank you so much to everybody that participated. Great models. Remember, for those of you that may be new here, if you showed up through one of the raids, we are Monument Hobbies. Generally, we're telling fart jokes and painting models.
Yep.
But welcome to the one day where we do our challenge review. We stream Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here from Monument HQ in lovely Phoenix, Arizona. Although this week we are not streaming on Friday because it is 4th of July here in the U.S. and the shop is off. Everybody gets to have a 3-day weekend, which is great. But we'd love to see you join us. So hit the follow button if you're on Twitch or the subscribe button if you're watching us over on YouTube. We'll have lots of fun. So make sure to check out all the links that Chris threw up in chat there. We've got the monumenthobbies.com link, which will show you the path to all of our glorious products. Try some out for yourself next time you're looking for some new hobby goods. Also the FLGS link, which shows you the store locator that will get you locations all across the globe that carry our products. Please support local when you can. And then our Discord, which is a great community of closing in on 6,000.
Just about 6,000.
About 6,000 amazing artists that are very active, lots of participation, lots of sharing of ideas, very friendly, great place to make friends that welcome you no matter where you are in your journey. If you're about to pick up your first model or haven't made the decision yet, or if you've painted your millionth model, you've seen it here. We've seen a 9-year-old blow it out of the park on this black and white one with her second model, for crying out loud. So tremendous amounts of stuff to give you inspiration on the Discord. We'd love to see you over there too. Make sure to stick around. Chris is going to find you somebody to raid. Hopefully some more good hobby goodness as you go off into your evening. Make sure to drop some love in the chat we wind up in, and we will catch you back here tomorrow because tomorrow's very important.
Tell them about it.
Tomorrow is Monument Hobbies birthday stream. Yes,
that's right.
Our official birthday is July 4th, our Day of Independence, both in the U.S. and as a company. And we celebrate it on 3rd because we're taking the 4th off. So,
that's right.
But stick it. Chris is going to be running some giveaways. I'll be painting. And then through the, I'm doing a green base tutorial.
It's in stone.
Tomorrow. I see you heretics out there with your green bases, and I'm going to do something nice for you. So we'll see you back there for that, and then we'll be painting up some Vespids and whatever else we come up with. But Chris is going to be running some giveaways. We don't do giveaways a whole lot, but when we do, they're lots of fun. And they showed me a brand new Wizard's Butt color that'll be given away tomorrow. It looks really cool. I haven't gotten a chance to paint with it. And we're going to have tons and tons of fun. So make sure if you have any show you wind up for, show up for tomorrow. We'll have a blast. Looking forward to seeing you there. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow. Adios, gang.